My name is Amanda Wiggins, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Marana Chamber of Commerce President and CEO. So grateful that you're here, that you have decided to be a part of this program. Marana Insights is something that our chamber sees a lot of value in, bringing a lot of the community leaders that are in these spaces to share information with our business community so that we can work together to move this entire region forward. As we shared, this is recorded, so we push this recording out as well. And with that, I would just like to thank you again for being here and introduce Jenny Huffman, who is the owner of Imagine Realty, and she is our moderator for today. That'll help us have a great flow to this program. So thank you for joining us, and here's Jenny.
Thank you, Amanda. So great to see everyone, on those that I can see their faces. As Amanda said, my name is Jenny Huffman. I'm the broker owner of Imagine Realty Services. Okay, so we'll move right into our first speaker. Someone that has come and spoken with us before and always has some great information. So Jim Conroy, Parks and Rec Director for the town of Marana. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see everybody again. It's always an honor to come talk to the chamber. I think I was maybe 2 days on the job with the town in 2017 when Ed Stolmaker came into my office and talked about the relationship between the chamber and the town and quality of life issues and basically how Parks and Recreation and law enforcement and how we all work together with business owners to make this a better community. And that just continues to get stronger and stronger between the chamber leadership now with Amanda as well as town leadership. And I think we do an awful lot together. So, my message to you today is we're here to serve you. That's the bottom line. My staff and I are here to do what we can do to support you and your businesses and how we might be able to partner from time to time. I probably get more contacts from chamber members who are realtors, and they'll give me a call about a client that's moving to the area. And they got a couple of kids that maybe play youth soccer and they want to get a contact, or they have a horse and they want to know if there's a stable that they can contact for boarding, or they themselves are into fitness and they want to know get information on our trail system for hiking or mountain biking and that type of thing. But there's also other opportunities. We're here at your disposal to provide you what you need. But I also today want to talk to you a little bit about maybe some sponsorship opportunities. Here again, we're here to pick up the phone or meet with you and provide you whatever you need. But there's also more and more with the growth of the town. And as we grow, there's more and more opportunities, I think, for business owners to get involved in different events and programs that we do to promote your company. So I think with that, we'll start the PowerPoint presentation. That's Victor's. Yeah. Second slide, please. Okay, so I'm going to kind of get you up to speed in a few things that you might be interested in. Right there, you see the artwork. That's and I'm holding it up as well, but you can see it on the screen much better. That is the artwork for our summer programs that are open now between May and August. There's a ton of information in there, and that is something that a lot of the realtors use. People who are involved in the chamber who are dealing with people moving to town, as I touched on just a minute ago. But you can get into that document and really get a tremendous amount of information as far as activities that occur in the town. And here again, as a Park and Recreation Department, we're here to enhance quality of life. If it's for a child going into a swim program at 4 years old, or if it's somebody's family member who's 85 that wants to participate in being a safe environment in our recreation center, and everybody in between. Next slide, please. So it's swim season, and that's just a regular day at Crossroads Park. It is summer season, and the attendance that we get at these splash pads is pretty exceptional. Next slide, please. Going to talk a little bit about the summer season. This Friday, actually Friday afternoon, starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 to 6, we're going to celebrate the 50th anniversary of our pool, of our swimming pool, right over here at Orome Park. A lot of fun activities. We're going to have some food trucks, as well as a lot of fun activities in regard to, kind of goofy fun stuff, cannonball contests, who can tread water the longest, all kinds of fun stuff like that. But that pool has served this community in a pretty exceptional way for 50 years, and we wanted to recognize it. So that's the beginning of our swim season. We don't have a year-round pool, so that's the first day of swim, and that pool will be open from basically Friday, which is Memorial Weekend, through Labor Day. And I wanted to pop this up here. As I mentioned, splash pads. Splash pads are just an awesome recreation opportunity for you and your families. They're, here again, people that you know, people that work in your company. The splash pads in Continental Ranch at Crossroads Park, as well as the one up here in Heritage Park. They open at 9 in the morning and close at 7 at night, 7 days a week for over 6 months. We'll have the splash pads open until the middle of October. So just a little bit of information about these aquatic facilities when we're dealing with our 100-degree temperature. Splash Savvy. I want to share this with you because I really think it's about what you all are as leaders in the community and what we are about as leaders in the community, the public sector, and that is to be responsible in how we're dealing with youth in the community. This is our Splash Savvy artwork I have up here. Splash Savvy is a drowning prevention program. We actually won a national award. This was the #1 program in the country last year for drowning through the Aquatics Association, National Aquatics Association. It was a great distinction that we got, and I want to talk a little bit about what we do in that regard. Next slide, please. We go into the classrooms. That's our fun mascot, as the kids call him, Sammy the Seal. And our staff go out and we target on the little guys, 2nd graders, 3rd graders, 4th graders, and we talk to them about how to be safe at their home pool or at the lake with the family, or of course at our swimming pool we have lifeguards. But we think that's a core value as a park and recreation department, that children learn about swimming. They learn how to swim, as well as they learn about different things where if there is an emergency, how to respond. And this program gives them in a fun way all those sorts of opportunities, or even if mom or dad or grandpa or grandma, if somebody's starting to get sick, or we had a gentleman a few years ago had a heart attack, and the child knew enough to call 911 and actually saved his grandfather's life. So we're very proud of that program. That was a nice national award for the town. Next slide, please. And this is just a shot of them in the classroom. And I share this with you too because of the relationship with the school district. I think any strong park and recreation department has a very strong relationship with your local school district. And I can't tell you the amount of programs and activities that we do just to partner with MUSD. That's our staff, that's our aquatic staff, talking to kids in an MUSD classroom. But that relationship between the school district in the town is strong. And I'll start speaking. The next slide shows a group of youngsters with a lifeguard. Here again, it's back to the core value of the community, that for $25 a child can be in a swim program for a couple of weeks and learn how to swim. My philosophy as a park and rec director is that every child should be able to learn how to swim at the neighborhood pool. In some communities, this is kind of a higher lifeguard type of situation, and a family to get a child to go through a swim program, it can be as much as $80 to $100 for a 2-week program, which with gas prices and everything today that's happening, we feel that's an important thing that we do and that we've done for a number of years actually now, where our staff actually train the kids and the kids can learn to swim in their local pool. Next slide, please. I share that this slide here I share with you, Marlins swim team. We have 500 children that are involved in this program, and the reason I share this with you is because of the the tourism. Obviously, it's about kids and swimming and having fun and a great activity for young people to grow up doing. But we have in our seasonal pool over in Orme Harm Park, we have a very robust youth swim program with over 500 families. When we do an event at that location, we can have 1,500 people, and those people come to town, they buy gas, they stop, and they might get some lunch downtown. It really is these type of programs. Youth sports is a real economic engine in the community, and I share this with you because it's about the kids, but there's also an overflow effect in regard to sports tourism that brings considerable dollars to town, and swimming is certainly one of those activities. Next slide, please. I put this on the screen. So we have 2 leagues in town, over 800 kids, little leagues. It's little league season. I mean, of course, throughout the country, that's a huge program. But we have about 800 families that are involved in our little leagues. And we've had a number of chamber members who have been sponsors of teams and have promoted that. I really put this on the board to just say thank you. Some of you on the call may have sponsored a team in the past, but I know that Little League really appreciates it. And here again, we're talking with 800 children registered in these programs. These are thousands of visits that we get basically from late February through July at the park when these leagues are active as they are at this time of year. Next slide, please. Here's an event that happened a week ago Sunday. It was our Mother's Day event. This was over at Heritage River Park, and this is along the Loop Trail along the Santa Cruz. Great turnout, and this is one of those events that I wanted to share with you that if you're ever interested in talking to us about it, there's lots of sponsorship opportunities to be involved in an event like this. Not a super big event. We had about 260 people registered, but with family and friends, we probably had 350 to 400 people there. And I know a number of people, we've had food vendors and food trucks and different entrepreneurs in the area and business people have participated in this type of event, but also a great lifestyle event for people, a lot of young families, a lot of grandmas, a lot of moms, and as you can see with the gentleman rooting his family on, a lot of dads out there supporting the important women in our life. Next slide, please. Concerts in the Courtyard. This was a really great series that we started this year on Thursday nights. We do a spring series that just ended, but we're going to start another series up in the fall. Shelby Shear, our event supervisor, who's actually with us here today in the room. This was an idea that Shelby had, and it really took off. Food trucks did very well at this event. And here again, good park and recreation activities that will support local businesses. Got really good feedback from our food trucks that attended that. And one of those events that you also might want to just come out with your business on a Thursday night. If you want to take the office out to have a good time. I know that people from MHC came over, from Marana Health Clinic. Came over. This is actually in the courtyard at our main administration building. And it was just a home run in regard to when the event was. This is a major event that's coming up this summer. You haven't heard a lot about this, but you're going to hear about it probably a lot more in June about the fireworks shortage nationally. We were really fortunate. We're going to have fireworks at our 4th of July event. We are going to do it the day before. We're doing it on Sunday night, July 3rd. It's going to be at Crossroads District Park. This is a legitimate, for those of you, and I'm guessing that probably half of you have been to this event. This is a legitimate 10,000 person event. But we're real zeroed in. In fact, we have a Shelby Sheard lady that I mentioned a little bit ago. We have a meeting today with all basically the team that's going to be putting it on. As you can imagine, we bring 10,000 people into a district park. There's a lot of coordination with traffic control and working with Northwest Fire, et cetera, et cetera. And we also want to thank the landfill next door, Tangersley. That's where we're going to shoot. We're going to shoot the fireworks from, but there again, a member of the chamber, really solid local business person who stepped up and said, absolutely, you can use our facility to shoot the fireworks, but that's a really great event that's coming up. And there again, that might be an event that as you move forward, Our signature events, we do about 4 or 5 of them a year where, we will get that 6,000 to 12,000 person attendance. And this is certainly one of those events. Paint night. Let's go to the next slide. This is we do these paint nights in the park. We do it over at Heritage Park. And I share this with you because more and more people are doing it with their companies, where you'll have an office come out just for fun. You'll have 5 or 6 people for an office. Well, and this is one of the classes you would go to the Parks and Recreation website and sign up for. But they'll come in as a group of 3 or 4 or 5 people. But it's a nice team building thing. We have a great instructor who does it, but just to demonstrate a little bit of the diversity of the things that we do, but also kind of as a leader, kind of a fun idea where you can maybe bring your people together and do something a little different and fun outside of the office. Next slide, please. I put this here because I know we're all pandemic exhausted. However, we are back in indoor classes. This is obviously a martial arts class, but we are back in full swing with indoor classes. And I think most people knew that or know that, but I certainly want to emphasize that. Since I talked to you last, we have filled El Rio Preserve on Coach Line Road, north of Twin Peaks. It's a 10-acre lake. We worked with CMID, another member of the chamber, our water district, awesome company to work with. And it's this is an educational class that we did there. We built this platform about 2 or 3 years ago. The gentleman who's kind of in the center of that is a gentleman by the name of Michael Boken. He's a PhD at the University of Arizona in physical sciences, and he was doing a presentation here today about the environment in that area. These type of programs fill up extremely fast, and I share this with you to emphasize the importance of natural resources in the community. And as much as we do the real hardcore sport activities, we also are extremely active with outdoor recreation as well as environmental education. And the El Rio Preserve has certainly helped us in that regard. Next slide, please. This is just a shot. These gentlemen are not professional photographers. This is just a shot that I took at the El Rio Preserve. Bird watching has exponentially exploded here. Tucson Audubon has identified 244 different bird species at this location, which is number 3 in southern Arizona. And there go ecotourism. Bumped into and here's another group. That's another shot of the platform. Took this during the winter, but these are folk in one of our birding classes that we offer. Ecotourism, bird watching in the state, and that's a good shot of the lake. You can see the 10-acre lake that's filled with CMID water. But the Arizona Department of Tourism has identified that bird watching brings over $1 billion to the state of Arizona. So here's another, outdoor recreation program that's a huge economic engine. I bumped into a group last year in December from Alberta, Canada. There was 25 people on the platform. They were in southern Arizona on a birding tour, and we're on the list. And they were actually, I think they're staying at the Days Inn, but they're staying here in town. They're going to go to Ramsey Canyon and all the other different spots to bird watch. But this facility has really been a boom as far as being a destination, bringing people to Marana. Next slide, please. Outdoor recreation, I mentioned it. This is in the center. You see one of our trail events, but people will jump in a car and drive 100 miles to do a trail run. This is an event in the center there with the gentleman in the red top with his hands up. That's in our trail in the Tortolita Mountains. A lot of people come to town to do this event. Sometimes we'll have 350 people in an event, and maybe only 40 of them are local. And again, those are people coming to town. They're getting a hotel room. They're buying dinner. They're getting lunch. They're filling the gas tank. They're coming to Marana for an event, as well as, as well as mountain biking. We have a very robust mountain biking community, and a lot of people coming to town and mountain bike in the Tortolitas at the Tortolita Preserve. And I put the horse and the young lady there because of the diversity of our programs. We offer horse camps. I think being loyal to the traditions of the town and the heritage of the town. We have a local rancher. They're again supporting private business, and we hire him, and that's his daughter, and they do horse camp for us. So it's our opportunity too to support local business by hiring them to offer a service for us. And we do that at a local stable with that family, and we do horse camp for kids. Next slide, please. Shared user path. Outdoor activity has just exponentially exploded since the pandemic. Right now, our electronic counter is saying that north of Ina Road, beyond the Santa Cruz Trail, between Ina and Ever Valley, we're clocking over 100. We clocked over 180,000 people that walked on that trail system. And most of that trail is connected to a development. So we work very closely with local developers to have trail systems connected along the Santa Cruz to those specific developments. Next slide, please. This is just a shot of the loop that we're connected to. So here in Marana, we are connected to the overall urban loop, which extended out. It's over 100 miles of trail system. You can jump on a bike at Crossroads Park, and you could ride all the way down to Rita Ranch on the far east side, 40 miles away, and you never have to get on a city street on the bike. So it's a tremendous system. Want to promote this with you? These are our 2 new soccer fields at Gladden Farms Community Park. We bought a drone recently, so we're having a lot of fun taking some good shots to illustrate what we have. But the grand opening is June 10th. And it's 9 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have a lot of fun activities, and I welcome you to come out. We've got a tremendous amount of activity on social media with that. But there again, just is going to be a nice lifestyle promotion for our kids that are involved in youth sports. Next slide, please. That's just an aerial of the shot that shows where the 2 fields are behind the 2 baseball fields, and that's, if you know where the splash pad is at Gladden Farms, it's just to the west of that. Next slide, please. Parks Master Plan. We finished it up last year, and I share that with you because it was very thorough. We're a lot of things to a lot of different people, as I said, from the 85-year-old person that might be in our senior program to the 3-year-old that's going to get in our swim lesson. But the master plan surveyed everybody, and as a result of that, some really exciting projects have come out of that, because there were 2 big deficiencies that the community identified in surveys. Over 82% of the people who participated in our master plan identified that we're deficient with indoor recreation space and a year-round swimming pool. So as a result of that, we are going to move forward due to the leadership of our mayor and council. We've just selected an architect to construct a 55,000 square foot multi-purpose recreation center. And we're also going to have a year-round heated swimming pool. We literally had an hour meeting yesterday with the firm that we hired. We're negotiating the contract. We hope to have them signed in the next 2 weeks and to be actively designing this beautiful new facility over the next year, with the goal of potentially opening sometime in the summer of 2024. But here again, as business leaders in the community, this is going to be a tremendous shot in the arm to lifestyle for our residents, as well as with the swimming pool, the youth sports, and having those big swim meets and that type of thing. It's going to bring this will be a destination to bring a lot of folks to town. And that's that's a concept of it that you see up there on the screen, kind of give you an idea what it might look like. And that was a result of the master plan. I want to give you a shot of what the pool will be, probably very similar to the pool that you're looking at right there. Here again, the kids are going to have a ball, but then again, we'll be doing some major events there, which will, for those of you that in private sector might have some eateries in the area and that type of thing, that's really going to be a tremendous shot in the arm. Now, where this is going to be built is just next to MHC on Main Street, just down the street from our main administration building. So we're going to be on Main Street, right next to basically the new Northwest Fire Station. And on one side of us, and MHC, their big administration building and clinic on Main Street. We're going to be right in between them. And this is just a shot with our swimming facility. We're going to have 2 pools. One's going to be a competitive swimming pool. The other one's going to be a play pool with a 29-foot slide, just to kind of give you an idea. It's going to be more than a pool. It's going to be an aquatic complex. Next slide, please. That's just a shot, kind of give you an idea of what the facility will look like. And I did want to share with you, this was a trip we took with Mayor Honey, and that's Terry Roseman, our town manager. He's got a pretty good jump shot. In there, but we were, and John Officer, council member officer, but we took a trip up to Goodyear, Arizona, and we looked at some similar facilities in the last few months, kind of kicked the tires. Colleagues in Parks and Recreation are extremely generous with information, and a good friend of ours, who's the Park and Rec director, had us there, and I have a list there. I won't go through everything, but basically, you know, a facility, the amenities in a facility like this will be a 10 to 15,000 foot gym, a second floor indoor walking track, which would be wonderful when it's 105 degrees out. You can go inside and walk. You talk about wellness and health year round. Then we'll have an exercise area with weight equipment as well as cardiovascular machines, about 5,000 square feet. And I'll stop there. I know I'm getting short on time, but we're extremely excited about this tremendous facility. I'm going to close with this slide. The Notify Me, you can go on our website. Every 14 days, we send out an e-blast to share with you everything that's going on with Marana Parks and Recreation. You can keep in touch with us. You can send us email. Myself and our deputy director, Wayne Barnett, I mean, we take pride. We respond the same day, almost always, when we get a communication from anyone that contacts us. And this is a way you can get a hold of us. But even more importantly than that, if you sign up for the Notify Me, you can do it through our website. You will get basically a newsletter every 14 days that will give you a complete schedule of everything that we have going, as well as you'll get updated on where we are with that beautiful community center and aquatics complex that we're getting ready to build. I appreciate being here, Amanda.
Yeah, we have one question in the chat box. What type of sponsorships are available for businesses to participate in, and who is the best contact for those?
Shelby, I'm going to ask you to jump over here for half a second. I brought her to the table. This is Shelby Shear. She is our event supervisor, and I specifically asked her to come to the meeting for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming this morning. Just really quick, because I know we have another speaker, but we do have this book. If you go to our website, mranaaz.gov, special events, this book is online in a digital version, and it does detail all 4 of our major large-scale events, and there are sponsorship levels for the year. So starting at $250 all the way up to, I think the highest sponsorship is $5,000 or $6,000. That would be a title sponsorship, large scale for the whole event. But we have those levels in our Marana 2022 special events book. And then we do have for our concerts the opportunity to sponsor an individual concert, or you could do the whole season depending on your engagement investment that you'd like to put into the event. So I won't take up too much time, but this is where you would find it.
I put it in the chat box.
And she put it in the chat box. So thank you so much.
And we have one more question. Jorge, if you want to ask out loud?
Indeed, that's not a problem. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Hi, Jorge.
Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Good to see you.
It's great to see you. I have a question for you, and it might be a bit different, I guess. As it relates to the community center, there's always going to be programs that have to do with physical health, of course, and it's prevalent and it's excellent. One of my concerns is, or questions rather, is I'm a grief recovery specialist, and in this day and age, you can imagine that a lot of folks, including youth, are hurt and they're struggling. And essentially, even now, they need mentors more than ever as it relates to mind, body, and spirit. Do you think, or will you guys have anything in these community center, in the new community center, that would perhaps address mental health? You know, there's a stigma behind it, when in reality, what it should be is the idea that if we go to the gym to get fit with our bodies, because they take a beating, our minds and our spirits take a beating as well. And so having that support in a community center, I think would be awesome. And have you guys perhaps thought about something like that? Thank you.
You know, absolutely, Jorge. And, you know, the important thing in design, I've had the opportunity in my career to be involved in the design of a number of facilities like this. And, you know, the important thing to do is that you design the facility to accommodate activity. And obviously, we're going to have classrooms. And in classrooms, you can do everything from a painting class to a drawing class to have a recovery counselor working with a group. So, I mean, the important thing is to have the space, you know, and let the activities and the programs, and as I said, there again, diversity. It could be an art class. It could be a recovery coach in there with a team. So I think the answer to that is programming. I I mean, you have to have a robust program. And here again, as I said, that's why I put the slide up. We're many things to many different people. You know, many people come to our rec center today, in which you go to over at ORMA, the community center. They're 45, 50 people a day. That's their main connection with socialization. And the average age, I would say, is probably about 80 years old, late 70s. So, you know, I think it's our responsibility as leaders running these facilities is to create those program opportunities. But I can tell you right now at the community center, I see that happening with that older population, because that is their connection to socialization. So I say the answer is yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Jim. Have a good day.
Thanks for having me.
And Jim, you know, I forgot when we were doing intros that there's some people in the room. So, you know, I don't know why I kind of like spaced that. But if you could stand up and swing around here and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how we were going to do that.
Yeah.
It's a learning process.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Wayne Barnett. I'm the Marana Parks and Recreation Deputy Director.
And he's awesome.
Yes. Yes. And then, sir.
What's going on, guys? Ray Piscetta from Alluvian Communications. We're the new ILAC/Internet telecom company coming into Miranda in the next 2 years.
Excellent. And,
Hey, Jermaine.
Hey.
and Tammy.
Oh, okay. You can see right there.
Yeah. You
Tammy McElroy, Director of Operations here at the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
okay. Thank you.
I'm Sally Edwards. I'm a volunteer at the Marana Visitor Center.
Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and introduce our next speaker. Victor Pereira is the Director of Natural Resources for Pima County. So he's just dove into the deep end of the pool and looking forward to hearing what he has to say.
Awesome. Thank you.
Splash that.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit down if that's all right. Awesome. Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Vic Pereira. I am the new director for Pima County for the Natural Resources, Parks, and Rec department. I just want to thank Amanda and the team for having me out here to the chamber. So when Amanda called me a couple weeks ago and said, "Hey, Victor, we would love for you to come out here," I said to her, "Listen, Amanda, this is 2 weeks on the job for me. I might need to push this maybe a quarter or two so I can be a little bit smarter on what the team does." And she's like, "Nah, you'll be fine. Just come on out." So I've had to do a lot of homework here for the last 2 weeks because really I'm still getting immersed by my team. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm actually, I don't want to say fairly new to the area, but I just retired from the military out of Davis-Monthan Air Force Base after 31 years of being in the military. I retired as the vice commander out there at DM, which really means that I was in charge of the day-to-day operations of running the installation out there. Been in the military since I've been 18 years old. I have been flying helicopters. That's what I did for a living, primarily special operations and rescue missions all over the world. We live out in Vail. I'm married. My daughter just graduated from Cienega High School this weekend, also turned 18. She's going to go to University of Arizona pharmacy school.
Wow.
So super excited about that. Married 22 years. My wife is also military and she just retired a couple years before I. Full-time mom. What she does right now is she actually interviews high school kiddos that are applying to the Air Force Academy and helps them out throughout the whole process. So if anybody needs any help, let me know. Just connect with me and we can help you with that. So what credentials do I have, being the Parks and Rec director? Well, really, I've had the privilege of leading some diverse and dynamic teams in the military, and that's really what translates to coming over here to the Parks and Rec. After I retired, I actually worked in the health department for about 6 months, working with Dr. Colin there, trying to tackle COVID. and I was her deputy director of operations. And then this job opened up, and luckily I must have fooled them, and they hired me, and so here we are. So let me just talk a little bit about my team, Amanda. Next slide. I'm going to start off with the natural resources division, and I took some notes here from Jim. I need to have more pictures and less words. That's what I wrote down. But no, really, I'll tell you that this is really my most diverse division here. We have oversight of over 100 natural resource parks, 14 ranches, which, wow, I didn't really know that Pima County owned ranches, and we'll talk a little bit about that. 3 mountain parks and 2 preserves. So pretty diverse and dynamic there. When they said I had a nursery, I was like, wow, we have daycare at Parks and Rec. Nope, it's not daycare, but really I have an amazing nursery team, and really the team there is responsible for all the landscape projects that we do in Pima County. Last year alone, we were actually able to salvage over 8,000 native plants, right? That we could actually repurpose them and reuse them for future projects in Pima County. Jim talked a little bit about the environmental education, extremely important, just to stimulate awareness on all environmental issues. The team there has over 500 or so programs that really target environmental education. And while we all know that COVID dominated the narrative last year, and most of our programs are hands-on, we were actually adaptive and trying to be transformative and trying to make a lot of those digital, right? And in a good year, we get about 60,000 individuals that go through our environmental classes. And last year alone, we were able to target somewhere in 40,000. So that, with a COVID-19 year, that's pretty good. And like Jim mentioned before, the birding activity, wow, we do have our teams that go out there to our nature preserves and to our mountain parks, and they do the hands-on nature education as well as the birding education as well. From invasive plants, if you ever heard of buffalo grass, fountain grass, or stinknet, I didn't know what any of those were, but I do now. And I'll tell you that those plants are starting to spread throughout our Sonoran Desert and changed the ecosystem. And really, I only have one invasive plants program manager, and this initiative is really on the back of our stalwart volunteers. Last year, we targeted Tucson Mountain Park, and we were able to go through 2,000 acres, right? Try to get that through before the monsoon season. And we go out there and we go through the buffalo grass and the stinknet and the fountain grass. And so we went through 2,000 acres out there at Tucson Mountain Park, which is right around Gates Pass and A Mountain. And then our ranches. Wow, I'm gonna have to make sure I look at my notes here, because this is where I'm learning quite a bit. Of our 14 ranches, we actually own and operate one of them. The other 13 we lease to farmers and ranchers. And we really have these broken out into sectors. And each sector, we try to target a specific initiative. We do have ranch managers that live out in each sector, and they live out on the farm and they work daily out there. So our southeast zone, and that's the one that we own, which is our Bar V Ranch, which is just south of Vail, south of I-10 and east of Corona de Tucson. Really, that's our education farm and ranch. And we really have some really good partnerships with 4-H and Future Farmers of America and the University of Arizona Cooperative Extension. And really what we're trying to do there is increase skills in livestock and ranch management out there in that sector. And then our southwest zone, which just think of Buckaloo Farms, 3 Points, Arivaca. Right there, our intent is to, we have training programs that we target to increase the pool for more qualified ranchers. So when the opportunity arises, that they have the skills and the training necessary to manage and run their own ranch or farm. And then our northeast zone, think of Reddington Pass and Tanque Verde, and just on the other side of the Rincon Mountains, really we're targeting managing open space and flood control land. And then also with some oversight in fencing and vegetation management, right? So 3 different sectors tailored to 3 specific and tailored programs for the overall farming and ranch initiative there. We do have on June 4th, which is our 2nd annual 4-H Future Farmers of America calf sale. So that's going to be, if you're out in Vail, out in Bar V Ranch, we're going to have our students out there and they're going to be selling their calves. Which will be a fun event. And then really, I'd like to just talk lastly about our Agua Caliente and Canoa Ranch. And just like Jim mentioned, birding has been extremely popular there. Some initiative that we have is we're always just trying to improve, and we had a water conservation project that just occurred at Agua Caliente, where we were able to reduce the groundwater pumping, which really allowed us to conserve 22 million gallons per year out there. And the secondary effect of that was, with the efficiencies gained, we also gained 60% in electricity just based off of the electric pumping there. And then with Canoa Ranch, and so Agua Caliente has been ticking up 200,000 visitors per year out there. And then at Canoa Ranch, we're really investing a lot into that, and that's out there in Green Valley. If you've never been out there, tons of trails just right out there of the Anza Trail. Also has a pond. We're looking to put an RV camp facility out there at Canoa Ranch. And really what we're doing right now is renovating a couple of the rooms of the historic buildings and infrastructure there, with the intent of eventually having some formal and informal events there, type of weddings, and then also putting an eatery, a cafe, which you mentioned again, right, to increase the foot traffic to the area. Right now, we're seeing about 100,000 visitors to the Canoa Ranch, and we're hoping that these initiatives will bring more and more individuals to the area. So next slide. That's our natural resources. Let me talk to you a little bit about our parks team. Boy, this is a tough job here. I'll just go down to the bumper sticker, man. Our job is to beautifully maintain all our multi-use fields, right? We've got 39 of them, and then our 6 river parks and tons of ramadas as well throughout Pima County. Jim mentioned the loop. We do. It's 136 miles. So actually, flood control, which is a Pima County department, owns the loop. But my department, Natural Resources, Parks and Recs, we maintain it from a routine maintenance perspective. So if there's anything wrong out there that needs to be fixed from a maintenance, that's what my team does. And they're out there every day trying to keep the loop as that multi-use path out there. 136 miles. I know we have some up here as well. And we have 10 counters that we have positioned throughout the loop. And this is from 1 July of last year, just to current date. We've estimated 3.5 million users out there on the loop. And Jim mentioned this. Yep, we were voted. This is the 2nd year in a row, by the way, that the loop was voted the best recreational trail per the USA Today. And then for our parks, what we try to do, 2 energy efficiency initiatives. We work hand in hand with our Office of Sustainability and Conservation, and we try to target 2 urban parks. That's what we have money for right now. And we try to just have an LED conversion from the lights to the new energy efficient LED lights. So we try to do 2 parks per year. And then lastly, for our recs and trails, whether, Jim, whether it's ballet, boxing, yoga, kids sports or nutrition classes, the 13 community centers, we try to have tailored programs that it doesn't matter if you're a youth, they're a teen, an adult, or a senior. Once again, we're just trying to connect you with the community and all our varied programs out there. Yes, pool season is kicking off this Saturday as well in Pima County. We've been struggling with lifeguards, and not as bad as Tucson, and I'm not sure how you're doing, but we're about 80% in lifeguards this year. We did not want to take any degradation in swim team or swim lessons. We wanted to make sure that those two those two services. Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Teammate, I'm with
Yeah.
you, brother. I'm with
Those
you.
two services had no degradation because they are extremely important, right? Just like you mentioned. So what we've decided to do is we're going to close an extra day because we just don't have the manpower to be open 6 days a week. So we're going to be open 5 days a week. And right now, until we get our manning over at least 90%, we're at 80% right now. We'll be closed on Sundays and Mondays, but we'll have 100% with respect to swim team and swim lessons. And then whether you like trap, skeet, rifle, handgun, or archery, we've one of two shooting ranges here in the area. The other one is out in Ajo. But if you're looking for a safe, controlled environment, and also some education, you can come to one of our shooting ranges. And then lastly, our trailheads. We manage 27 trailheads, but we have over 400 miles of trails in Pima County. And whether you're a walker, a biker, or a mountain biker exploring the Sonoran desert and landscape, our 14 most utilized trails, we've seen close to 250,000 people on there. So really, I know I threw a lot of numbers at you, but with 30 days on the job, this is the best that I can do.
Did a good job.
Yeah, thank you very much. But I promise if you invite me back next year.
They're clapping online.
Okay,
too,
great.
so.
If you invite me back next year, I hope to have more pictures and be able to champion what the team is doing in Pima County. And I know that we work closely with the Marana Parks and Rec Division as well as Oro Valley, Sarita, and Tucson, Green Valley as well. So pending any questions, that's what I have. If there are any hard questions, I'm going to throw them to Jim and Wayne. I'll take the easy ones. But thanks for having me out.
I
Yeah,
have
please.
a question. We get a lot of questions here at the visitor center. You talk about the birding.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me an idea where to send people that are looking for the burrowing
Ooh.
That's a tough question.
Because honestly, we get that probably 3 or 4 times a month, that question. And then they want the yellow blackbirds.
Yeah, and Tammy, seriously, send me an email and I'll give you that detailed information, send it back to you. And, Audubon's always a great resource, but a good way to get to Audubon is through us because we work with them a lot. So,
Okay,
yeah, send me a note and I can give you that kind of detail.
okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, happy to do it. Yep.
Okay.
We have Curt online, so Curt will be next.
Okay. All right.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So our next speaker, Curt Woody, giving us our economic development and tourism update. So take it away, Curt.
Thank you, Jenny. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. You guys know the routine. We start off with the single-family residential permits for the recent month recorded, which is April. 81 permits in April, of calendar year to date of 527. So the activity is still robust. You can see the Northeast was kind of the main player this month. It was at 42 permits. A lot of it's been up here in the Gladden Farms area. But that, until a couple of more subdivisions can be opened, that might slow down just a tad because they're starting to run out of lots. Then you can see the graph for the year to date. Let me grab another file. For my notes here. All right, so from a town update, as far as staff is concerned, we are in the preliminary budget. We'll go to council here next month for final budget. Everything is structurally balanced again for this next coming fiscal year. Ongoing revenues pay for the ongoing expenses, and one-time revenues pay for the one-time expenses so that we don't tap into our savings to manage ongoing expenses. We're in the middle of our 5th iteration for the strategic plan for the town. Looking probably about fall to finish that up. We're going through a really exhaustive process this time. Last couple of strategic plans were put together relatively quickly. We decided this time we were going to do a deep dive into it, perhaps change some things instead of just cut and paste and put out another booklet for the year. So it's been a long process. We've started in actually before January. I was going to say January, but it started in late fall of last year, and we'll run it all the way to fall of this year. On the economic development side, some of you may have heard that Amazon and the developer that was going to build the facility for Amazon at Tangerine and I-10 have pulled out. I kind of saw that coming for the last 3 months. There have been articles out there that Amazon was starting to pull back and cancel a lot of their projects nationwide. They ramped up quickly for the pandemic because for the obvious reason, everybody was ordering online to get their needs met with their products. And now that people are back out shopping again, Amazon is refocusing their strategies and saying, you know, maybe we don't need quite as many distribution facilities. So they will not build their 1.4 million square foot facility at Tangerine and I-10. However, that opens up that 100 acres. And quite frankly, yeah, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, because that would have been 2,000 employees. But I'm more excited about having an industrial campus there as opposed to just one building at 1.4. Now we can have 5 or 6 or 7 buildings and truly turn it into an industrial campus, along with the property just to the north of them that closed by Flint Development about a week and a half ago. And they're going to start on their 2 specs of 500,000 square feet and 400,000 square feet just north of the Amazon facility. So we'll get some momentum going. The industrial market is very, very strong right now. And they're forecasting that it's going to be for quite a while. So I don't think it's going to take any time at all for new industrial developers to jump in and grab up the acreage there at Tangerine and I-10. Let's see here, retail. Quick Trip at Tangerine and I-10. There's a row of trees behind the Quick Trip, and then there's a triangular parcel about 28 acres behind that. That is slated for retail. And an article came out. We've known about this for a while, but just not able to talk about it. They didn't identify the retail center by name, but I think you can probably connect the dots. I told the board of directors yesterday that the article came out and said a top 10 Fortune 10 company, retail, 150,000 square feet, big box that provides consumer products and grocery. I'll let you fill in the blanks and you can determine who that's going to be. Also, right across the street from the Quick Trip, CTI has broke ground there. Brand new headquarters moving up from unincorporated Pima County at Avra Valley up to Marana, and a really nice looking building. I've seen the elevations on it. So welcome addition to that area right next to Ventana Roche, which is finishing up their 60,000 square foot addition right now as well. And then if you've been out to the Marana Center, you can see the dirt flying out there. 3 new projects, Quick Trip, Luke Dealership, and HSL Properties building a new luxury apartment complex. That's pretty much the update for this month. I'll take any questions if you got them.
Do we have any questions from the room? Anybody online? Okay, well, thank you so much, Curt. That's very informative and very exciting things moving forward.
As we report, it's almost like a broken record right now. As we report every month, the activity not only from the single family residential permits, but from the commercial and industrial side is still very robust. It's going to be that way for a while.
Excellent. All right, thank you.
All righty, just a couple closing remarks. Thank you for being here. We're ending right on time, so thank you to all of our speakers, as well as everyone who joined us today. So pay attention to this programming. We want to continue to bring leaders in this space, for our business community to connect to. One of the things that I've quickly realized is how strong the Parks and Rec here is in this community. The people are outdoors, and the healthy bodies and healthy minds. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, Jorge. With that, thank you and have a great day.